Hello, good morning to all of you. I am Professor and Dr. Parampalli Surendra Upadhya. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿನ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ 1ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು. ಶಾರ್ವರೀನಾಮ ಸಂವತ್ಸರ ಅಧಿಕ ಆಶ್ವಜ ಮಾಸ ಶುಕ್ಲಪಕ್ಷ ದಕ್ಷಿಣಾಯನೇ ಪೂರ್ಣಿಮಾಂದಿಥೌ ಗುರುವಾಸರಾಯಕ್ತಾಂ ಶುಭವಾರ ಶುಭತಿಥಿ ಶುಭ ನಕ್ಷತ್ರ ಶುಭಯೋಗ ಶುಭಕರ್ಣ ಏವಂಗಣ ವಿಶೇಷಣ ವಿಶಿಷ್ಟಾಯಂ ಪುಣ್ಯಾಯಂ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಶುಭತಿಥೌ ಅಸ್ಮಾಕಂ ಸಹಕುಟುಂಬಾನಂ ಕ್ಷೇಮಸ್ಥೈರ್ಯ ವಿಜಯ ಅಭಯ ಆಯುರ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಆನಂದ ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧ್ಯರ್ಥಂ. ನೋಡಿ, ಇವತ್ತಿನ ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಂಡಲಿ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ಗುರು ಧನುರಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಶನಿ ಮಕರದಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಚಂದ್ರ ಮೀನದಲ್ಲಿ, ವಕ್ರಿಕುಜ ಮೇಷದಲ್ಲಿ, ರಾಹು ವೃಷಭದಲ್ಲಿ, ಕೇತು ವೃಶ್ಚಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ, ಶುಕ್ರ ಸಿಂಹದಲ್ಲಿ, ರವಿ ಕನ್ಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಬುಧ ತುಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರುವ ಪ್ರಿಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕರ ಲಗ್ನಕ್ಕೆ ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ. ಸಿ, ಟುಡೇ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಿಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ರಿಕಾನ್ ಅಸೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ English speaking persons. First, let us mark ascendant Lagna in Capricorn. There Mars is exalted, Jupiter is debilitated. Second house is Aquarius. It is a Moola Trikona Sthan for Rahu as well as Saturn. Third house is Veena, that is Meena Rashi, that is Pisces, wherein Venus exalted and Mercury debilitated. Fourth house is Aries, Sun is exalted, Saturn debilitated. Fifth house is Taurus, wherein Moon exalted, Rahu exalted. Sixth house is Gemini, which is wherein Rahu exalted. Seventh house is in Cancer, Jupiter exalted and Mars debilitated. Eighth house is Leo, Sun, it is the Moola Trikona sthana for Sun. And ninth house is Virgo, wherein Mercury exalted, Venus debilitated. Okay. Next, Libra, wherein Saturn is exalted, Sun is debilitated. So, next for Scorpio, Moon is debilitated, Ketu exalted. So, next Dhanur, Ketu is exalted. So, if you consider natural signification, see, natural house or Kala Purusha. Mesha is considered as first house, Vrishabha, Taurus is second, Gemini is third house, Cancer is fourth house, Leo is fifth house, Virgo is sixth house, Libra is seventh house, then Scorpio is eighth house, Dhanur or Sagittarius is ninth house, Capricorn is 10th house, Aquarius is 11th house, and Pisces is the last 12th house. So, we are always considering placements of the planets first. Second, exaltation, debilitation effect we are going to take. Third is natural significations. With this, your predictions will be pakka 100%. Okay? Now, as per Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra, Capricorn ascendant, Mars, Jupiter and Moon are malefic. Venus and Mercury are auspicious. Saturn will not be a killer of his own. Mars and other malefic will inflict death. The Sun is neutral. Only Venus is capable of cluster 34 of causing superior yoga. Capricorn ascendant 355, these are the effects of applicable to notes. The sage has listed Mars in the first place while mentioning adverse planets for Capricorn ascendant, as Mars rules the 4th and 11th house. Jupiter is the lord of the 2nd and 12th house, the latter being his important house. The 7th lord Moon is not quite favorable planet. Saturn and the Sun are neither very favorably nor very adverse. Saturn will reveal killing powers if he joins Jupiter. Mars or the moon. While Venus and Mercury are both auspicious in other own way, the former is the best yoga karaka for this ascendant, for he is the lord of the 5th and the 10th. Combination for wealth. Combinations being wealth, one born in these yogas will surely become wealthy. Yogas for great affluence is that should a sign of Venus be in the 5th house and be occupied by Venus himself, while Mars is in the 11th house, the native will be greatest rich fellow, as per chapter 41, 403. This yoga applies to Capricorn and Gemini ascendants alone. For Capricorn ascendant, Venus will be in 5th in own house of Taurus. Mars will be in his own house of Aries, which is 11th house. Similarly, for Gemini ascendant, so to say, for these two ascendants, the 5th and 11th lords in own houses will consider abundant wealth. In the case of Capricorn ascendant, Jupiter therein should be exceedingly strong by other virtues, as otherwise he can lead to short life. For sage Bhrigu specially hints at Madhyayu or medium span of life, with Jupiter in the ascendant, identical with debilitation or inimical sign or malefic sign. Okay? Now let us take the cases of Venus, who is actually who is the lord of 5th house and 10th house. Okay, become yoga karaka because he is the lord of 5th house, Purva Punya Sthana. So example 1, I will give you a native born on 6th of August 2008, whose horoscope is as under. He is a Capricorn ascendant fellow. Rahu is in the ascendant itself. Straight away 7th house is occupied by Ketu, Sun and Mercury. 8th house is occupied by Saturn, Venus and Mars. And 9th house is occupied by Moon in Chitta Nakshatra. And 12th house is occupied by retrograde Jupiter. The second example I am giving here is same Capricorn ascendant wherein Jupiter, Sun and Venus are there in the ascendant. Mercury is in the 2nd house. Moon is in the 3rd house in Uttarabhadra Nakshatra. Saturn in retrogression in Taurus or Vrishab. Ketu is in 6th house. It is in Gemini. And straight away Rahu and Mars in 12th house. Bhava Kundali, it is given therein. Kindly look into the Bhava Kundali. Okay? You can see in the example 1 that Venus is in the 8th house along with Mars and Saturn. However, he is a lord of natural 2nd house and natural 7th house, which is you should not forget at all. Again, Venus is exalted in the natural 12th house and debilitated in natural 6th house. Please note that if Venus is in 8th house, it will bestow the native good results only. So, 8th house is for occult, insurance, gratuity. For death, it is a death house also. Okay. And for your information, it is for accidents, even for diseases as well as for the hurdles. Then, if Venus gives the results of debilitation, wherever Venus there, the crowd of women, wealth, okay, it is actually WEALTH, wealth and luxuries as well as comforts are assured to the native. If Venus is with the benefic planets, then the association of the native is with good women. If the same associated with malefics, then the association may be bad also. It also depends upon the placements of Venus in the chart also. Suppose if Venus is placed in association, okay, with whom? With Rahu. Okay? So, with Rahu, then you can easily say that the person is having bad association. he may be having prostitution also, he may be having relationship also. If Venus and Rahu in Virgo or Capricorn also, you can very well say that this person is having illegal relationship with the bad woman, despite of he is having wife. In the first horoscope, the association of Venus is in enemy's house of Sun, with Sun's bitter enemy Saturn, okay, and Saturn, okay, SUTU, yeah, as well as Mars. Hence, here the person may be having ego to have the relationship with the bad woman. In the second case, Venus is associated with the Jupiter, who is a great sage, though he is the bitter enemy of Venus, and also with Sun, another egoistic, ruling, authoritative planet. Sun in his enemy's house of Saturn. Here only thing is Jupiter is debilitated and may not be having strength to control Venus. Okay? So, Venus to force of love and romance. However, Venus may not be having courage to go in the bad lane also. Hence, we can believe the native 100%. Despite if the native is having illegal affairs, if any, please write to me that my predictions may be wrong. Now, let us take the example of Mars and Mercury. Mercury is the lord of 6th house and 9th house, and hence he is Yoga Karaka for the ascendant. In the first example, Mercury is with Sun and Ketu in the Rashi Kundali in the 7th house, which is Cancer sign. In the second horoscope, Mercury is in the 2nd house of Aquarius, the place of family and finance, as well as for the speech. However, in the both example, Mercury is in natural 4th house and 11th house. Hence, for the first native, Mercury is the main cause for his happiness, okay, and pleasure in the house, whereas in the second case, Mercury is causing house of profits. In both the cases, their intelligence comes in action. Now, coming back to Mercury, is natural 3rd house lord and natural 6th house lord, indicating house of communications, house of short trips, house of travels, house of siblings, house of competitions, house of hobbies, telephone, and also for digital medias as well as press, cinema fields, etc. Also, Saturn is the lord of ascendant. Saturn is treated as Mandagraha. Both are very good speakers, no doubt, but slow speakers. Again, since Mercury is the lord of 6th house, they may be suffering from skin diseases and allergies as well as nerve disorder. Signification of the natural 6th house are skin allergies as well as nervous disorder, okay? Disorder and memory loss also, for your information, even memory loss also, okay? Again, we shall see how, let us take malefic planets group of, in the group as Mars, for instance. Mars is the lord of 4th H and 11th H and becomes benefic to Capricorn ascendant. In the first example, Mars is in the 8th house along with Venus, okay, and Saturn. And in the second example, Mars is in the 12th house along with Rahu. For both, Mars gives problems. In the first case, the native gets accidents, injuries, fractures, etc. And in the later case, he may be under utter losses with the dealings of land and house properties as well as from his siblings also. However, they are respectfully in the house of natural 5th house and natural 9th house in the first and second example, okay? Now, coming back to first example, and in the second example, if we take the lordships of Mars, then the natural 1st house and natural 8th house lordship Mars has. Hence, both are having equal results of courageous, adventurous attitudes as well as fighting attitudes also. It also gives them leadership quality as well as logical action also. However, they may not be having intelligence. For that, Mercury is necessary. If we consider the placements of Mars, then the first person may be having knowledge of astrology as Mars with the Mercury and Ketu. Both are intelligent planet as well as Jnanakaraka Ketu. In the second example, the person may be having interest in astrology. Okay? So, now come to exaltation of Mars and debilitation of Mars. Mars is exalted in Capricorn itself, which is the ascendant called the Tanubhava. And now let us speak about debilitation of Mars in Cancer, which is natural fourth house. So, fourth house for mother, okay, fourth house for mother, happiness and vehicles, as well as properties, happiness also. However, since Mars is debilitated, they may not enjoy the benefits of the property. This is example, rental income. However, the Lord of Moon significations such as good food and caring, they may enjoy. Why? Because Moon is like mother as well as wife in these particular cases. If we take the first horoscope, we can speak of motherly caring, and if we take the case of second horoscope, we shall talk about wifely caring, and that for both good 5-star hotel food. Okay. Now let us speak about Jupiter. Jupiter is in first horoscope or in 12th house, whereas in the second horoscope, Jupiter is in the Lagan itself, in Rashi and in Bhavakundali. Okay. So, Jupiter in 12th house along with Rahu and Venus. In the first horoscope, it is in natural 9th house, and even in second house, it is in natural 12th house. As per Bhavakundali and as per Rashi Kundali, it is in Tanubhava. Hence, for both, Jupiter bestows good luck in their life period by way of good job, knowledge, leadership, advices, as well as wealth to live in. In the second example case, Jupiter becomes debilitated in Capricorn in the ascendant, itself makes some setbacks as regards in the significations of Jupiter. However, both will enjoy the exaltation significations in house of happiness in Cancer, which is natural fourth house. Now let us speak about Moon. Moon is in fact exalted in Taurus, okay, and debilitation in Scorpio. In case of the first person, Moon is in Virgo, 9th house from Makara Lagna, whereas in case of second person, Moon is in Pisces, 3rd H from Makara Lagna. However, as per natural significators, they may be respectively 6th house and 12th house. See, exactly opposite to each other. Moon's presence in 6th house gives good services, and in 12th house indicates foreign traveling or distance traveling. Next, we speak about Saturn himself. Saturn, being the Lagna Lord, is in the 8th house along with Venus and Mars in the first example. And in the second, Saturn in retrograde form is in 5th house in Venus house of Vrishabha. Here, Saturn is the Lord of 1st and 12th, second house, and hence he is Maraka. But he cannot be a killer on his own. If Mars or any other malefic planet associated or with the aspect, then only Saturn will become the killer. In both cases, Saturn is natural 10th house Lord and also 11th house Lord. Hence, he will give karma phala as 10th house Lord, and he will give gains as 11th house Lord. In the second example, Saturn is in the 5th house, means 5th house is for intelligence, higher education, children, as well as Puru Punya. Being the 10th house Lord, he may give the native good work after the age of 36 years, once the native settled down, and later he will give the house of profits in the children issues. Exactly it happened, he was blessed with a male child after the 3 years of marriage. Marriage took place at the age of 31-32. See how exactly came true our predictions. Okay. Now, in the first case, Since Saturn is in 8th house of Ayu, the native is blessed with long Ayu of 85 plus, like his grandfathers. He is also blessed with occult knowledge by providing him astrological knowledge, as Saturn is the master of astrology with Mercury, which is there in Bhava Kundali. See, once again our prediction came true. Now Saturn is exalted in the house of 7th H as per natural signification. Saturn is also debilitated in the house of body or Tanubhava, which is ascendant, which is Aries. Okay, both houses are 10th house and 4th house. So sorry, ascendant. Okay, so 4th house and 10th house from the Capricorn ascendant. Hence, for both, he will bestow good, hardworking, serving wife who may take care in relationship matter also. Even they are blessed with good car, good bungalow in the later part of life. Saturn is debilitated there in Aries. Saturn expects hard working in this regards. This can be very well see Mars in the second class. Mars is in Bhava Kundali, is in house of profit. That is again from land and house properties. You coordinate with this Saturn's effect. Why I told later case. Now let us take Rahu. Rahu in the first case, first example. Okay, Rahu is the first example, is in the ascendant itself, whereas in the second example he is in the 12th house. But as per natural significators, Rahu Swarashi is Virgo, and which is natural 6th house, and Mula Trikona, it is Aquarius, which is natural 11th house. House of profits, yes, in both cases they will be benefited with the foreign connections and profits out of this. In the first example, since he is in the ascendant, he is blessed with the Matamaha, which is nothing but the fathers of the mother. In the second case, he will be having true foreign connections as well as foreign traveling also. However, since Mars with Rahu in Rashi Kundali, the native may be suffering from land and house properties first, and later part of life may be benefited with the gains from land and house properties, as in Bhava Kundali, Mars gone to Scorpio, which is house of profits to the Makara Lagna. Again, we won in giving the right predictions. Coming back to Ketu. In the first case, Ketu is in the 7th house, which is 4th house as per Kala Purusha. The same in the second case is in Gemini, which is the natural 3rd house. Okay, house for communications, hobbies, siblings, competitions, short travels, and for courage. This is how we are giving the fantastic predictions for Capricorn ascendant. You have to practice how to give this type of predictions by looking at both debilitations and exaltations. With this, I will close the video. I wish you all the best for all Capricorn ascendant persons. 9481156540 is my mobile number. Thank you very much.